102 Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:32. And the Cars of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be a sunny day today with a high of 40. Breezy. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
Man, what a show. I hardly know where to begin describing it. What's going to happen on today's program? It's going to be a surprise to everybody.
It's going to be a mayonnaise midget mash fest.
And I think it should begin right away. I don't see no reason to prolong this introduction any further than right now.
We got stuff to give away, right? We got things like that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We got Western Mass Home and Garden Show tickets, 4-pack, I believe. It's going to happen at the Big E.
Hottest ticket in town.
You're damn right it is. You're damn right about that, Steve. 5:33 on Rock 102.
Yeah,
this Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:49 and the Steve Miller Band with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be sunny today with a high of 40. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. Right now in downtown Springfield, it is 40 degrees.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Hollywood Trash here in Longmeadow? What?
Yeah. Longmeadow.
Katie Cradaville said she would have let my teeth rot out if it meant a shot at winning $250,000. There's a story in Mass Live this morning. The Longmeadow native, along with her sisters Emily and Carly, competed on the second season of Fox's competition series, Extracted. The sisters were eliminated at the end of Monday night's episode. The trio was the sixth team out of 11 total families competing on the season. They go on to say about how, I guess they put you in the woods.
Okay.
I've never seen this show.
No, either have I.
They put you in the woods, and then you got to be a survivalist, and you got to compete against other families. This lady almost had her teeth rotted out from being out in the woods for 16 days, and she lost 20 pounds. And I mean, I guess if you're going to lose weight, that's the best way to do it.
I'll tell you what.
Being a survivalist.
You know, I know that there's a lot of hardy people here in Longmeadow who probably get lost in between houses all the time, and really know how to survive. Long as there's like a Starbucks nearby, they can go to Posto for lunch.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
You're really roughing it out here in the tough streets of Longmeadow.
Well, they don't put you in Longmeadow. I don't know where it's not like the set is here. Because if you were, you'd be fine.
No, but you've got a lifetime of training trying to get yourself through this town. I'll tell you what. If you were like a contestant on Survivor or some sort of physically challenging reality TV show, just getting out of the parking lot of the Longmeadow shops is enough to toughen up anybody.
Oh yeah, that should be a process of elimination, too.
Well, the hardest things there is. That's like an escape room for cars.
Finding a parking spot is like a Tetris game in there.
Trying to get your car in and out with like inches between you and the next door.
This one lady, Katie, she was extracted mostly because of the deterioration of her gums, which started to turn white. While the sisters did not receive an official diagnosis, her condition was believed to have been the result of nutritional deficiencies from a lack of food. Cambridge Dental Group states that white gums can result from vitamin deficiencies, among other causes.
Thank goodness there are so many qualified dentistry offices here in Longmeadow
that just happen to advertise with Mass Live. Can you be our consultant for this story? Why was this lady's gums turning white?
Well, there's the heartbreak of gingivitis. I'm sure all of us can relate.
How come they didn't ask that dentist down on Maple Street in Springfield with the bars on the windows that says dentist in a neon light on the inside of the window?
I don't think people from Longmeadow go down there.
It's only a couple of miles away.
Doesn't matter.
A woman
That's like the forbidden zone here in Longmeadow.
Well, either way, these broads are off the show now. Longmeadow broads. Maybe we shouldn't be referring to them as Longmeadow broads.
No, especially since we're trying to be good neighbors.
A woman caught on the kiss cam at the Coldplay concert has revealed that she and her boss were both separated from their marriages at the time of the viral video. The woman, Kristen Calvert, disclosed that her husband was even present at the same concert. The incident accidentally exposed an alleged affair between Calvert and her boss, astronomer CEO Andy Byron, sparking widespread attention on social media.
Wait, I didn't know that. Her husband was actually there at the show?
Yeah, but she doesn't say if they were in the box together. He could have been just at the show. And he saw... You know, he's got nosebleed seats. They're in a luxury box.
They're getting all chummy.
There's that bitch again. I can't believe she would do something like this.
I had no idea that he was present. That's interesting.
Well, see, these are the things that happen when you have an internet sensation going on. Nobody really seems to go into the details of what was really going on. They're like, look, we caught these two people cheating on each other. But if she's saying that her husband was there, I mean...
Yeah, there's a lot of people who go to a Coldplay show and say, this is the worst night of my life.
Maybe...
And then you have the worst night of your life and it happens to be at a Coldplay show.
That's double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
Yeah. Singer-songwriter Bruno Mars clarified that he was not criticizing Taylor Swift after her fans noticed he liked a post that appeared to do so. Mars urged users to spread love on social media platforms and publicly praise Swift. The incident sparked online discussion over the weekend, but Mars assured that he has no ill feelings towards the pop icon.
I'm sure everybody will jump right to it. I'm going to start spreading love on social media now.
I can't believe he liked that post. That's how that lady got canceled on... There's a lady on TikTok that did a lot of, like, kid videos.
Yeah.
Miss something. I can't remember her name. Miss Rachel, I think. Did you ever hear of her?
I don't know.
She had all these followers, and then she liked a post that supported Palestinians, and then the internet, or it was one of the other. She was either she supported Israel or whatever the outcome was. People were like, I can't believe she liked that post, and I'm like, that's how you're getting rid of people now, by somebody who liked something. You know how many times I accidentally like things, like because my fat thumbs, and I accidentally like a TikTok video or something because I'm an idiot?
Yeah, it happens all the time, but yet you'll be judged.
By who? By the masses?
Apparently someone's got an axe to grind.
Yeah. I hope nobody finds out that I liked that one Chris Kellogg post years ago.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, that's a fireable offense.
I try not to hit any buttons near a Chris Kellogg post.
Sarah Michelle Gellar has expressed her disappointment after Hulu unexpectedly canceled the planned reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You think you're disappointed? Imagine us.
Everybody's disappointed in that. The actress received the news just before a public appearance at the South by Southwest Festival to promote her new film. Hey, I'm not going to be Buffy anymore. I came out here to tell you that I got this new movie and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer has been rebooted, but now the plug has been pulled.
Now I have only 50% of interesting information to share.
I had a thing for her back in the day.
Yeah, I kind of did too, to be honest with you.
She's still a good-looking lady.
Sure she is.
Kim Kardashian looks like a completely different person with ice blue eyes. She put the the contacts in. She has blue eyes now.
When she was at somebody to say.
Oh my God! The last time I had anything blue was when I gave Ray J the brainy Smurf, and he got irritable bowel syndrome in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once gave her the peppercorn Rizhorn. Can't say the real name. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She tongue-popped the Miami Mung Bubble.
What are you trying to do?
It was like that little straw with that little thing at the end, and you blow the bubble, and it looked like bubble gum, but it wasn't bubble gum.
Like super elastic bubble plastic.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Sure. What else? What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I throat punched that uvula so hard she was running around the room with a mouthful of traga leche like a frightened pelican, not knowing whether to spit or swallow. Oh, your mother. That is your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Colleges in this country are loaded with very stupid people. In fact, some of the dumbest people I know, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging idiots, all have one thing in common: a college degree. And if they don't have one yet, they're very close to graduation. How do I know this? Because the same college education that I received in the 1980s is now worth more than $70,000 a year, and only an idiot would pay for something like that. On the other hand, some of the smartest people on campus happen to be student athletes. Thanks to their God-given physical talents, a young man or woman can now get a free college education and get paid to go there simply by accepting fully legalized NIL payments. But even among student athletes, there are people who are dumber than the ones who are paying full price. Case in point, I present to you Aiden Holloway, junior guard for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yesterday it was announced that it is likely that Aiden Holloway will be unable to play in this week's opening round of the NCAA tournament after being removed from campus after police discovered more than a pound of marijuana in his student apartment. Holloway has posted $5,000 bond and is facing a couple of felonies, including first-degree drug possession and failure to affix a tax stamp. In the state of Alabama, both charges could lead up to a $15,000 fine and more than 10 years in prison. Now, let's look at why this young man is so stupid. One, he was busted 2 days before Selection Sunday and will miss Alabama's first-round matchup against Hofstra. Secondly, the Crimson Tide basketball program currently sits on $2.9 million of available NIL money. On a 12-player roster, that means, in theory, Aiden Holloway could be making as much as $241,666 to do nothing more than play basketball. And yet, a 20-year-old, $241,666 wasn't enough. Hence the desire to obtain more than a pound of marijuana. Now, I can understand the idea of wanting to have a little bit of extra cash on the side. But you know who doesn't get to enjoy that kind of money? Convicted felons sitting in prison. Son, you got your whole life to get involved in the illegal drug business, but to do it 4 days before the opening round of the tournament, that's just plain stupid. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, July's going to be too late to rescue that lawn. You got to go to Rocky's now for Scott's 4-step. 4 simple steps to a healthy lawn all summer long. And it's almost time for step 1. So go to Rocky soon. Get Scott's 4-step for $95 with your Ace Rewards card only at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:12. And Blue Oyster Cult with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Your lucky forecast for today is going to be sunny with a high of 40. Tomorrow, you interrupted my shillelagh.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, tomorrow mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It's 40 right now, downtown Springfield. There you go.
There we go.
I was going over the Candy Mountains. I met Captain Farrell and the money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced my rapiers and then deliver Whack Paul the Daddy-O, Whack Paul the Daddy-O, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh man, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh man.
Time to start getting drunk at a bar at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Hi, you know, it's the, Steve, I'm not Irish at all. You couldn't find a pint of Irish blood in me. But I gotta tell you, Steve, the idea of standing in a wet parade route and drinking green beer, puking by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You don't know if it's going to be wet parade route on Sunday?
Well, it's supposed to be a little rainy on during the road race on Saturday.
I don't think those people give a shiznit.
They don't.
You liquor yourself up enough, you forget that it's even raining.
You know, I every year, and it can come from any number of people. They'll ask, "Hey, you going to the road race? Going to the parade?"
No.
And every time I look at them with this inquisitive look on my face, like, "Are you serious?"
You know, it's a young man's game. It's not for us. It's for the younger crowd and the alcoholics.
Interestingly enough, though, if you see pictures, there are a lot of people who look very old.
Yeah.
Who are actually quite young. Yeah. And the booze and the sunshine and the hard living
It's the
ageism. You may be like 25 years old, but your skin looks like shoe leather.
That Irish guy with the white hair and the red nose and what's that Jimmy Durante nose? What do they call that?
Gin blossom.
Gin blossom. Yeah. The guy's only 22.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
You're kind of right, though. It is primarily a young man's game. If you had asked me at the age of 20, 21, 22, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over something like that.
Yeah.
But now at 59, nearly 60, it's like,
So
I gotta get to work on a Monday. I can't start drinking on a Saturday morning.
I moved here to this area in 1996, and I didn't even know about this parade and road race thing. Like, I had no idea that this was this big thing until I started taking classes a few years later at HCC, where, this classmate of mine, she's like, you got to go to the parade and the road race. And I'm like, what? And it totally, like, it didn't even register with me how popular this thing was. And then, all of a sudden I get into this business. And they're like, yeah, this is a big effing deal. Like, this is it is.
It's a huge deal.
Economically, it brings millions of dollars to the area every year. But you and I...
Mostly in bail money, though.
Yeah, but you and I not going isn't going to not make a dent into that.
No, it just means there's more room for other people.
That's right. And, I ran the road race one year, about 7 years ago.
Right.
That's a long run. It's like 6 miles. And it's uphill mostly. And there are people who are trying to hand you Jell-O shots and beers as you're running down the street.
I'm not an athlete. You might find that hard to imagine. But to me, the idea of like running while I'm drunk to anywhere but a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the appeal for me would not be to actually participate in the running part of it.
No, not at all.
I mean, the appeal to me is to support the runners by getting absolutely blitzed by 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And that's what most people are doing. They're getting hammered in that situation. So I remember the time that we did the first internet broadcast, and regardless of what anybody says, we had the first internet streaming broadcast of the Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade.
We had a blast.
And we got blasted. And that's the most important part.
You know why? This is why I think we didn't get credit for the first internet live stream of the parade. I think because we drank the booze at the viewing station, I think people got angry at us by the amount of booze we drank that afternoon.
You really think so?
Well, we weren't invited to drink their booze.
Yeah.
It's just we just assumed that it was there for everybody.
That was the time my late wife. Well, she wasn't late then, but she came to pick me up.
She was on time.
And I was blitzed. And she's got the 2 kids in the back of the car, and I hop in with like the big light up, all the glasses and all that stuff.
Oh,
and, I had to drunkenly explain to her, I just made a deal with this guy. Everybody was going home, and he was selling these for $10 a piece, but I got them for $5.
You know what the sad part about it is? I don't think any of that was ever recorded.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
There were parts of it where I had a headache, not because of the booze, but because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
At the things that we were talking about and the people we were talking about from the viewing stand.
Maybe that's why we weren't invited back.
Maybe
it was a culmination of all of those things.
I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. It seemed to be so much fun at the time. If you asked us to do it now, I mean, we would probably do it, but we wouldn't get so slap happy along the way.
I would indulge in the devil's lettuce, I think, while doing that. Because that would make it. You got to have some kind of substance to make you get through that 4-hour parade. That's a 4-hour parade.
I'd probably eat 4 hours of corned beef.
Yeah, it starts at 11. It doesn't end until 2. That's a long day.
Yeah, but if you're participating in any level of the parade, you got to get there at like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So when John and I were in the parade, everybody used to meet at the Kmart Plaza. Well, there were 2 bars in the Kmart Plaza, and that's where all the fun happened.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was having fun in the parking lot. But unless you got into the bars where all the cops were hanging out.
Pal Joey's.
Pal Joey's. What was the
Sand Castle?
The Sand Castle. The round one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That was so much fun. And the idea of then walking several miles on a parade route didn't seem like a particularly great idea at that point.
Yeah, but you were half in the bank, so it didn't even matter.
Didn't even care.
Yeah.
Didn't even care. And then in order to get back to our cars, we did like one of those clown car things where I'm stuffed in a car with like the Maestro was in the car, and there were like a bunch of we walked with the Maestro one year.
Yeah.
And there were like 15 people in like a Plymouth Duster. I don't know how we all squeezed in there, but we did. That's how you got back to your car after a full day of chowing down Jell-O shots.
Walking and drinking Jell-O shots.
Yes.
That sounds like the least fun I could have right now in my life.
Right now, I would agree. At the time, you thought this is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
I don't want to go anywhere near that area. And again, I'm not, the festivities are what they are. I'm not besmirching the events at all. I mean, there's lots of people who have fun. I'm just personally talking, I'm too old to be doing any of that stuff. To be going to hang out and to beat the crowds and.
There are plenty of people who are older than you that can't wait for this to start. So it's not about age. It's just about, your place in life.
Yeah.
At this time in your life, the last thing you want to do is go endure that kind of self-abuse. But there are plenty of people who are still in their 60s, 70s, and beyond.
Yes.
That have this on the calendar and set on repeat every single year.
The Holyoke St. Patrick's Parade is this Sunday, with local celebrations beginning to mark the countdown to the annual tradition. 2 Weeks Notice Brewing Company hosted a kickoff event over the weekend to prepare the community for the upcoming festivals. This is your liver workout that you got.
Okay.
You got how many 2 weeks notices can you shove down your throat? The gathering featured a full Irish menu and served as a focal point for residents to celebrate. That's the thing. A lot of these Irish bars around here today, like Collins over in West Springfield.
Yep.
I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing they have the brisket sandwich, which is one of the best things they make this time of year.
Sure.
Is it's not just sliced corned beef, deli corned beef. It's like a brisket sandwich.
It's real stuff.
Yeah, the rye bread, when you can get a Reuben type of deal on it. Or even, I just like the brisket with the sauerkraut on it.
That's all you really need.
Now, I was telling you, I know we don't have much time here, but I was telling you the boss here yesterday took my corned beef recipe with the Guinness, and he smoked it on the smoker. And I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. He just did it in a pan
with the Guinness and the onions and everything,
with no lid on it, and smoked it for 3 hours at 250, and then wrapped it. Put the foil over the top.
Yeah,
of it,
yeah.
Then cooked it at 300 for 2 more hours, and he said it came out like perfecto. So I'm gonna have to try that now.
Yeah. You're gonna have to. Mm-hmm. Tell me how it goes.
I will.
I'll be over in about 45 minutes.
Oh well, it's gonna take 5 hours.
It's just about 6:23 on Rock 102. Hey, it's Bax. It's 6:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be sunny today, but cool. High of only 40. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
This week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, my guest has been Justin Warfield from the band She Wants Revenge. It's a gold record-selling band, and he's got a brand new solo album out called Dark Wave Devotionals. Really, really interesting guy, and you can hear that interview on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and on the Rock 102 app. All brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee. And Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Are you ready to laugh?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can pull this thing up here. This guy.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
On Rock 102.
I make you laugh.
Springfield's Classic Rock.
I'll give you one long one and one quick one, all right?
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day. A man stumbles up to the only other patron in a bar and asks if he could buy him a drink. Why, of course, comes the reply. And the first man says, where are you from? And the other guy goes, I'm from Ireland. And the first man says, you don't say. I'm from Ireland, too. Let's have another round to Ireland. Of course, says the other guy.
Right.
Curious, the first man then asks, where in Ireland are you from? Dublin, says the man. I can't believe it. I'm from Dublin, too. Let's have another round to Ireland. Of course, he says. Curious, the first man then asks, the first man says, where did you go to school? St. Mary's, replies the second man. I graduated in 1965. I did too. I went to St. Mary's as well in 1965. About that time, one of the regulars sits down at the bar. What's been going on? He asks the bartender. Nothing much. The O'Malley twins are drunk again. They're twins, and they're talking about the same play because they're drunk and they don't understand what's going on. Now, you want to hear the other one?
Yeah.
What's the difference between an Irish mother and her daughter?
I don't know.
About $5. I don't even know what that means.
That's hilarious.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
You were
6:30 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Happy St. Patrick's Day! It's celebrated around the world every year on March 17th. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
No, I had no idea. It's my first one.
Well, Kids Incorporated 22 News is working for you.
Now, do they go into a description as to why we celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Well, St. Patrick was actually born in Britain in 386. At the age of 16, he was captured by pirates and brought to Ireland, where he was sold as a slave. According to legend, a steady routine of prayer and labor reshaped the rest of his life. He later escaped, but eventually returned to Ireland, was ordained as a bishop, and is credited with bringing Christianity to the people there. Another one of the legends surrounding St. Patrick is the way he used the shamrock to teach others about Christianity. You write the shamrock on the top of the Guinness foam.
Right. Well, it represents the Holy Trinity, Steve.
Right.
I know you're aware of that.
He explained how the shamrock has 3 leaves but is still one flower. This parallels the Holy Trinity, where the God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, yet still one entity. The shamrock is now the official flower of Ireland and is worn to commemorate St. Patrick's Day.
Now the Holy Spirit of the day is a bottle of Jameson.
Traditionally, corned beef became an American-Irish staple around the holidays. Some in the mid-1800s, when the Irish immigrated to America, they found Jewish corned beef very similar to texture to pork loin or tenderloin. Because of this, they use corned beef as a replacement for bacon when preparing corned beef and cabbage meals. There's whiskey in the jar. It's a perfect day to get out and support local eateries with a classic Reuben sandwich. Yelp has put together... St. Patrick had Yelp back in the day. Where's the best place to get a corned beef sandwich on my day?
It says here Subway.
Subway?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a sponsored post.
Yelp has put together some of the best places in Western Massachusetts to get the corned beef. Donovan's Irish Pub in Holyoke.
Yeah, that's a good place.
River Valley Co-op in Northampton. Because when I think of corned beef, I think of a corn up, a farm share.
Let me grab my shillelagh and my Birkenstocks and head on up to Hampshire County.
Cushman Market and Cafe in Amherst, where all the Irish hang out.
Of course they do.
Calabrese Market and Deli in West Springfield.
Well, the luck of the Irish here at the Calabrese.
Fitzwilly's Restaurant in Northampton.
That's good.
Woodstone Tavern in Holyoke. Jake's Restaurant in Northampton.
Jake's.
Jake's.
Good old Jake.
The epitome of Irish heritage is right at Jake's.
Rock Mama Daddy-O.
Rock Mama Daddy-O, there's whiskey in the jar. Collins Tavern over in West Springfield. Now, there's a place you can get a good Irish sandwich. You can also get a nice wrap in the mouth if you're a little too chatty Cathy, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I do, and I have been in more than my share of fistfights outside the place next to the gun shop.
The Miss Florence Diner in Florence.
Who's this Florence lady?
I don't know, but I hear she's nice.
Oh, she's a fine lass, isn't she?
The Rail Trail Ale House in Southwick. So I saw 3 Irish places on a list of 10.
And a lot of posers in between.
I mean, not to say that none of those other places don't make good corned beef sandwiches. It just doesn't really kind of meld with the holiday.
Steve, on a day like today, everybody is Irish.
Yeah.
Now, I once did that Ancestry DNA thing, and I have like 0.5% of Irish blood in my heritage. It's almost as if there's no Irish blood at all.
Yeah.
It's just like somebody got drunk at a bar one night, and boom, there you go. But so I have really no Irish heritage. But on a day like today, I will. I'll wear a big, thick, white cable knit sweater.
There you go, Bax.
I'll wear green something or other.
I didn't wear green at all today.
I got a piece of spinach in my teeth. Would that count?
I wore Scottish plaid.
Ah, yes.
Where's my bagpipes? I can't go on stage without my bagpipes. There are a ton of other Irish places around here.
Yeah,
O'Brien's Corner up at the corner by 291 there on Page Boulevard.
Yep.
Where else you got the Irish bars?
Well, there's Patty's up by Winnick.
Yeah, Patty's up by Winnick. I'm sure they got a corned beef sandwich up there.
They probably do. Of course, they got Patty's Pizza next door.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Who came up with the Reuben with the Russian dressing?
I don't know, but it really is kind of like an international type of sandwich.
Yeah, it's not really
named after a Jewish guy who probably spent some time in Russia and Ireland as well. Put it all together and made a fantastic sandwich.
Yeah, but see, if you listen to the history, the Irish immigrants came over here, started using the Jewish corned beef because it reminded them of the pork tenderloin that they used to have over in Ireland. Pork tenderloin used to take like corned beef in Ireland?
Well, they weren't having it in Jewish families, so
I guess so.
It is delicious, though. I know some people say they can't stand the Irish food. Listen, I eat a lot of cabbage.
Yeah, but you got to cook it right. My parents, I don't know if it was just this, they just didn't know how to cook, my parents, but everything was boiled. The whole thing, they boil the corned beef, and it would just be like a piece of shoe leather, and I hated it until I was a teenager, and I actually had like it made a different way.
Yeah.
And now I love making it the way I make it with the Guinness. You know?
I have to say, Steve, your recipe really is amazing. Yeah. I mean, I've tried recreating it myself.
Yeah.
And it's awful good. Awful good.
Murphy's Pub over in Agawam. They got a good... you ever have the food over there, Murphy's? They got some... they have the Irish egg rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good, too.
Those are good.
I like a good Reuben casserole. Have you ever had a Reuben casserole?
What is this Reuben casserole in which you speak? And please
it's basically
speak slowly.
Layers of, you mix up the corned beef, the Russian dressing, and the sauerkraut. With a little bit of shredded Swiss cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And you mix that all up, and then you layer it with rye bread.
Yes.
And then you top it with more Swiss cheese, and then you bake it in the oven for, I don't know, 45, however long it takes to make the cheese and get the thing up to temperature, and then you're all set.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay? But I am aroused right now.
Well, maybe I'll make one of those and bring it in. I got to make... I already made one brisket that I devoured within 2 days.
How big was it?
It was probably about 6 pounds.
Yeah. 6 pounds. After all is said and done, that could be 4 pounds by the time you're cooking it.
Yeah, with the potatoes and the cabbage.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
God bless it. All right.
I know. It's good stuff. Do we even need to go on with the rest of the news today?
I don't even care. I mean, as long as we're just celebrating the day, it's St. Patrick. If there's actual news that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's St. Patrick's Day. I think St. Patrick's Day wins every time, hands down.
Here's an important piece of news. The East Longmeadow Police is seeking the public's assistance in locating a missing girl. Police stated that Callista Messier was last seen at 10 p.m. Sunday riding a light blue bike. She's described as approximately 5'1" and weighs 120 pounds. Police say she may be in the area of downtown near MGM. If you can see a picture of her on the 22 News website. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts, you're urged to contact the East Longmeadow Police immediately or call 911. The Massachusetts Board of Registration of Medicine has taken disciplinary action against Dr. Roderick A. Williams, medical license, after he admitted that 2 of his reports interpreting ultrasounds did not meet applicable standards of care. Dr. Williams, a board-certified diagnostic radiologist, has been licensed to practice medicine in Massachusetts since 2004. He's affiliated with private imaging group in Leominster, Westboro, and contracts with medical groups in Amherst, East Hampton, Greenfield, and Northampton. In a news release from the Massachusetts Board of Registration of Medicine, a consent order admonished Dr. Williams' medical license. But they don't say what he was doing.
Yeah, what are you doing that's not compliant?
Interpreting ultrasounds that did not meet the acceptable standards of care.
So, like, he was doing the ultrasounds but not really reading them?
Yeah.
I don't know. There needs to be more information about this story. I'm not sure what's going on.
And it seemingly, they suspend this guy's license, but the guy flogging the whale at 3300 Main Street is on probation.
Well, that's different. One, I mean, this guy that we're talking about, that's about medical care. Yeah. This guy is dealing with self-care. There's a difference. Who's he hurting?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, let's say, for example, he has some sort of urinary issue. Well, sometimes the only way to diagnose it is to do exactly what he did for a full hour in front of that open window.
To clean out the pipes.
That's exactly right.
I got a little clog in the flog. I need to get this out.
Well, you know how, like, when you have a vasectomy, they say you got to
20 times
before you can go and be sure that everything is out.
Yeah.
How do we know this guy didn't have a vasectomy and he's working extra shifts? How does he have time to do it 20 times?
Yeah,
he's got to figure out a way. And sometimes in the office with an open window for full hours, the only thing he can do.
Yeah, how does he have time to do that?
He doesn't. This is why it's a victimless crime.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd say victimless.
Well, I mean, unless you're at the cancer center and looking at the window and pulling your phone out, taking video, I see nothing wrong with it.
Well, I mean, if you're a neurology patient and they put you in that tube with the MRI,
mm-hmm.
When you say you're going to feel a little pressure to the head coming from that guy,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might make you feel a little uneasy.
Of course, there's no room in an MRI to manipulate yourself. So, I mean, you got to go back to the office.
Well, don't they make the new machines where it's a little more roomier now?
Well, yeah, but you need the elbow room and you got to sit still.
I've had one of those. Have you ever had one of those?
A couple of them.
It's scary. I have claustrophobia like you wouldn't believe. And to be a big guy to begin with,
mm-hmm.
and then get smushed into that little thing and you can't move at all.
The first time I had it, I would agree with you. I kind of had a little, and I don't normally have claustrophobia, but I got real panicky the first time around. The second time I did it, all I did was close my eyes, and that helped.
And pretend you're somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like not stuffed in a tube somewhere. Like I was Augustus Gloop.
Waiting to get pushed out of that chocolate pipe.
Right.
Poof. Oh, he's in the chocolate room, ma'am. Don't worry. He'll be just fine.
Oh, Augustus Gloop.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be sunny with a high of 40. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It is 40 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
The Rock 102 app. Download.
Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock, 651. And the Rolling Stones of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be wet to start, then sunny. Eventually with a high of 40. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It is 40 right now in downtown Springfield.
This is very cool. John Fogerty and Steve Winwood are coming to the Tanglewood on September 6th, and Rock 102 wants to send you to the show. Tune in afternoons this week with Pat Kelly for your chance to win a pair of tickets. For all the details, go to rock102.com/concerts from Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. That's a really cool show.
What?
John Fogerty, Steve Winwood.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Steve Winwood before, and he's fantastic live.
Are the old men down the road?
The old men will be down the road under the pavilion at Tanglewood.
Oh, well, that should be a good show. You going to go to that one?
I don't know if I'm going to go to that one. Actually, there's a couple of shows that are coming to Tanglewood that are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Paul Simon is going to be there. Believe it or not, James Taylor's going to show up.
Paul Simon, that's going to be a big crowd. Now, how do you get at it? Are there 50 ways to leave the venue?
Tanglewood, yes.
Leave the venue?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
get out the back, Jack.
You get on the bus, Gus.
Get a new plan stand.
That's right.
You don't need to be coy, Roy.
That's true. Weird Al is going to be coming.
For $500 a ticket.
I don't think he's coming $500 a ticket for
Tanglewood.
But
he was $500 a ticket. Where'd you say, Mohegan?
Mohegan.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, the cheap seats are $100, but the secondary market is cost from up for $500.
Yeah.
No offense. I like Weird Al like anybody else, but that's not a $500 show, as far as I'm concerned. That's crazy.
We were making fun of that McDonald's CEO last week about him, really not eating the food that he's telling everybody is delicious.
Right.
And he had the chicken sandwich, and you could see him putting it into the napkin again, I'm not eating this garbage. And then I don't know. These CEOs are making these videos to say they're just like the rest of us.
They're not.
You're not
no, you're
like
not.
the rest of us. And then there was one where he must be at the office. They obviously have a McDonald's in the corporate office downstairs.
Right.
And he gets an Egg McMuffin, and he can't even eat the Egg McMuffin like a normal human being. Like, he can't put the sandwich to his mouth.
How much of a snob do you have to be to not pack down an Egg McMuffin? It's not an offensive sandwich by any means.
But it's like Ted Stryker when he had the drinking problem, and you think it was about alcohol, but it's really about the fact that he can't put the glass to his mouth and he dribbles it all over his shirt.
He's got no aim to the mouth.
I don't understand these people that do it. But somebody suggested last week, they're like, yeah, I'd like to see the CEO of Ticketmaster actually buy a ticket to its own venue.
It's a good
You want to
point.
show everybody what it's like to be a regular person.
Even someone who's got the money would look at a $500 ticket and say, really? For Weird Al? No offense, but he ain't a $500 show.
Listen, none of them are $500. Name one person that you would pay $500 for out of your own pocket just because you wanted to see them so bad.
If they could reanimate the dead flesh of 50% of the Beatles, maybe I'd spend $500 to go.
But they're
even not. Then, that's probably not going to happen.
But $500, man, that's like a car payment.
I just bought a car for my kid. I don't have $500.
No kidding. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
people don't have the money to be doing this.
Yes, I don't have that kind of money.
But yet there are so many people who go out of their way to go, I'm gonna save up. And I'm going to I'm going to put it on my credit card so I finance a Weird Al show.
I haven't paid my mortgage or rent in months, but at least I got to go see Weird Al at Tanglewood.
Well, I mean, everybody's got different priorities.
Actually, that's the Mohegan Sun. Tanglewood may be a little bit more reasonable if you're sitting on the lawn.
Real quick, do you want to do this thing about the screenshot that we just was sent us, or you want to talk about that after 7 o'clock?
I don't know. Why don't we do it after 7 o'clock?
All right, we'll do 22 News. Kids Incorporated is at it again.
Working for you.
Yeah.
It's just about 6:56.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, my NCAA brackets have officially been filled out. Who am I picking to win it all? That's my business. Let's just say it's not who you might think, and it's probably not who you might pick. But of course, that's the magic of March Madness. Nothing is supposed to make any sense until it does, and by the time it does, it's already too late. Today, of course, is technically the start of the tournament with the pre-tournament first 4 play-in games. This, of course, gives the crappiest teams in the tournament a chance to play themselves into the tournament against teams who are already there. Today, you'll have the battle of 16 seeds with UMBC against Howard in the Midwest Regionals, followed by the 11-seed battle between Texas and NC State in the West. Tomorrow night, you'll have 16 seeds Prairie View A&M against Lehigh in the South Regionals, followed by 11-seed Miami of Ohio against SMU. Are these games interesting? No. Are they necessary? Only if you prefer the 64-team format. And apparently the only way to do that is to start off with 68 teams. Sound confusing? It is, but not nearly as confusing as the NCAA's initial plan to expand to a 72-team format by 2027. That, of course, would require the NCAA to pick up to 76 teams to get that done. Thankfully, those plans have been temporarily put on hold while top scholars in the country attempt to figure out how you get 72 teams out of 76 when people are still confused as to how you get 64 out of 68. Granted, math isn't really my thing, but it seems to me that if you need to populate a 64-team bracket, all you have to do is pick 64 teams. That's the way they used to do it before somebody got the great idea to make it more confusing to everyone. Now, before any of you try to explain to me how it makes any sense, let me stop you right now. Save your breath. None of these teams that are playing in the next 2 days are going to make it to the Final Four. So even if it makes logical sense to you, in the end, it doesn't really matter because they're all going to lose anyway. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Get Rocky's sales flyer and take a look at the March tool deals from Milwaukee to Walton Craftsman. I'm looking at the flyer online. You can see the deals on the Rocky's Ace Hardware app or pick up the good old-fashioned paper copy at any Rocky's store. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock at 7:09 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
It is going to be sunny today with a high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 35. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, by the way, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody who's partaking today.
Happy St. Patrick's Day out there. Who wants a shot of Jameson and a Guinness at 8 o'clock in the morning? Hey, bars open up in 50 minutes.
Ah, Steve-O, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Is it 5 o'clock somewhere?
Sure.
Where?
Elsewhere in the world, Steve.
Somewhere. It's
Elsewhere.
5 o'clock. Yeah. So happy St. Patrick's Day out there. There are the bars that are open, at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know Nathan Bill's is probably open early today.
I'm sure they are.
Collins, O'Brien's, all those places are open to go. Patty's
Probably open early thing.
Yeah, I don't know what time they open, but man, you can get your drink on as early as 8:15.
I remember when we used to broadcast from a bar that is sadly no longer in business, but we would start broadcasting at 6, and the booze couldn't start flowing until 8.
Yeah,
and so it was always like, boy.
Well, they had breakfast to get you ready.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's like when it's like the start of the Kentucky Derby. When it when it's post time, then everyone comes right out of the gates and start ordering booze at exactly 8:01.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive,
especially since we were done by 10 and people got a lot accomplished in just 2 hours.
My first bar fight was on a St. Patrick's Day. Way back in the 90s.
Really?
Late 90s. My older brother lived in South Amboy, New Jersey, which used to be in the Guinness World Record book for having the most bars within a square mile in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
How many do they have?
It was like one on every corner.
That's awesome.
I don't remember. I mean, per square mile, the area is not that big. But they had the concentration of all these pubs and all that stuff.
Sure.
In there. So we went to it was the same kind of like Holyoke St. Patrick's thing. You start out, you go to the parade at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then by 2 in the afternoon, we're walking around, going from house party to house party, and getting blitzed. And I was trying to hit on this chick. I think I was like 20 years old.
Okay.
Right? I wasn't old enough to drink yet. But my brother's girlfriend's friend, who was she was like 25, 26.
Yeah, a woman of the world.
When you're 20, a 26-year-old is a cougar. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, yeah. And I was really, really drunk, and the guy was singing. We were at this house party, and you could just walk up to a hut. The guy had the whole living room decked out like as a free-for-all. He had a hutch full of booze. Mm-hmm. You paid $10 to get in to watch this band play in some guy's living room, and you could have all the booze you wanted to.
While supplies last.
Yeah. So here I am, taking a swig of the Southern Comfort out of the hutch. And then I'm trying to hit on this girl.
Yeah.
And what was it? He was singing Neil Young. And I'm like half in the bag. I'm like, man, this guy plays Neil Diamond like nobody's business. And she corrected me and said it was Neil Young. Sadly, I never
got very far that night.
No. What was it? Never made it with the ladies.
Yes, you were a high school loser.
Never
made it with the ladies.
Never made. Well, I was a community college.
You were a community college loser. Never made it with the ladies.
Never made it with the ladies. But and then later that night, we went to this place called the Monkey Bar.
Right? It already sounds good.
It was the final stop of the night. Right.
Okay.
We're all. It's like 11 o'clock. We had started at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's now 11 o'clock at night, and going from place to place, corned beef, here, corned beef there, all that kinds of good stuff. We get to this Monkey Bar. This guy, again, here I am, a community college loser, never made it with the ladies.
Right.
I'm half in the bag. I start talking to this girl, and I was like, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, this guy goes, try to hit on my girlfriend? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I didn't know she had if I had known she had a boyfriend, I wouldn't have approached her.
Right.
And I'm trying to walk away, and this guy just gets, and before I could even answer, his fist just starts pummeling my face.
Really?
And blood is spurting out. It's all going down he ripped my shirt, my good puke shirt that I had on that day. And I go outside. Oh, because my brother had called a cab. We were all, none of us drove. We were all going to go back to his girlfriend's apartment and crash, on the living room floor or whatever.
Right.
I go outside. He sees my condition. He's like, what the hell happened to you? And I'm like, this guy in there just kicked the shiznit out of me. And he's like, where is he? And he goes in. And I point the guy out. And then my brother goes and starts hitting that guy.
Right.
And I don't remember all I remember after that is we're all drinking beers together. So even the bully guy
So all was forgiven.
Everything got smoothed out within 20 minutes, and I don't even know how that happened.
I never got into a bar fight, but we came really close one night.
Yeah,
we did a road trip to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah,
me and my roommate, who I'm still very, very good friends with to this day. We went to Miami of Ohio to visit some friends of his. And we went into a bar, and as we're trying to get into a bar, there's this young kid, clearly a little bit underage, but he was a young street youth, and he said, "Hey, mind if I sneak in with you guys?" We're like, "Sure, no problem."
Yeah.
So we sneak the kid into the bar, and then we go to the bar, and so I'm striking out with every girl in the bar because I'm like 200 miles away from here, maybe even longer for all I know, and my roommate starts dancing with this girl. And having a good time, and the girl's into it, and my roommate Jay's into it, and everyone's having fun. All of a sudden, very much like what you're talking about, this girl's boyfriend comes out of the bathroom, and goes right up to Jay, and and says, "What are you dancing with my girlfriend?" So as this is beginning to escalate, and the guy's starting to puff up, and he's balling his fist, and Jay is not a fighter by any means, but he is a very adept functional alcoholic by this age. As this fight is going on, the kid who we snuck into the bar was apparently one of the younger brothers of one of the linemen for the Miami of Ohio football team.
Yeah.
And as soon as this little situation comes, this kid tells his brother, "Whoa, these guys got me into the bar." All of a sudden, we are surrounded by and backed up by the entire offensive line for the Miami of Ohio football team. I think you'd be surprised by how quickly that fight diffused.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost like in Animal House. "Oh, you mind if we dance with your date?" "Why, of course. We have no problem with that. Please dance with my girl."
Yeah.
It was like it was almost a close call to death.
And yet, what happened to the young lady who decided to dance with your friend?
Yeah,
there's no accountability. She started this. She knew she had a boyfriend, yet here she is loving up to some guy at the bar that she hardly even know. She doesn't even know.
Yeah. How did the girl that you were hitting on How did that boyfriend know it wasn't her? How did my friend know this girl had a boyfriend?
She was the one who initiated the conversation to begin with.
You see what I'm getting at? Yes.
And she was far enough away from him where you wouldn't suspect that they were together.
And you're the guy that deserves a mouthful of knuckles.
Well, because you were messing with my girl, dude.
She didn't have a name tag on her, so how the hell would I know she was your girl?
Yeah, well, thank God I don't do that anymore.
So the next time you get into a bar fight, either have your brother with you or have the offensive line for the Miami of Ohio football team.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen to me.
I don't know.
Again.
Save the day that day.
Yeah. Somebody suggested, what about St. Patrick's Day at Mingles? You want a piece of this Ruby Reuben I got cooking under here?
It's been at least one big potato famine in the last 2 days since the last time I've been here and hooked up with a young fella.
And we are all starving here.
Is that a shillelagh in your pants and you're still getting ready for the parade?
Oh, I like a good kiss my Blarney Stone, which is packed tightly into my patty panties downstairs.
The doctors, my urologist says I've got Blarney stones. They should be passing at any time now.
Have you ever had a green waffle for breakfast? Don't kiss me. I'm contagious. I remember back in 2020, I still have those shirts. I still have some of those shirts left. It was the little leprechaun with a mask on, and it said, "Kiss me, I'm coronavirus." I made like $1,500 selling those shirts.
Those are great.
Yeah, Collins Tavern was selling them for me on that St. Patrick's Day never happened that year.
That's right, because we were all separated.
They closed everything on the 15th, I think. 15th
That's right.
or 16th, and yesterday had been I think it was yesterday, 16th, because I was looking at my memories. And yesterday would have been the last day to purchase those shirts, and it said on the back the St. Patrick's Day that wasn't 2020. And hey, those are collector's items now. There's tons of people who still have those shirts.
That's awesome.
If you have one of those shirts, send me a pic on the Route 10 Tire listener line at 413-293-1021.
We'll be talking about another pic that we saw just this morning. Well, that's coming. That conversation's coming up in just a little bit. 7:20 at Rock 102.
Hey, it's Hank from Tudor House Liquor.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 7:26, and the Beatles with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny with a high of 37 today. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
It's time for Rock 102's Bracket Brawl, brought to you by Hooplandia and Bud Light. If you go to rock102.com right now, you can make your picks before the first game, which happens on the 19th. Make the best picks of the entire tournament. You get a $500 cash card. And if you pick every game correctly, and that happens all the time, you could win $1 million. It's the Rock 102 Bracket Brawl, brought to you by Hooplandia, Bud Light, the Yard Tavern, and Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Have you seen the new dime design?
It's with the lady's face on it.
Yeah, Lady Liberty, I guess, or whatever her name is. You know what? I like it, but my genitalia really it hates it. It's complaining.
Your genitalia?
Well, according to 22 News, on the, what is it, the Chyron? Is that what
Chyron.
Chyron, or whatever on the bottom says, new dime design faces pubic criticism.
Well, there are parts of me that won't stand for it.
Well, I mean, hey, this idea stinks.
I can practically smell it from here. Didn't they mean to say faces public criticism?
I believe they probably did, but it came out pubic.
Really?
Yeah.
And someone took a screenshot of this, and this is the second time I've seen this in the last 24 hours. So a bunch of people saw this all at once. So I'm sure there are a lot of people wondering whether, in fact, the pubic area will be greatly offended by these dimes.
It's like trying to find a dime in the Bermuda Triangle.
I believe that's the Bermuda Triangle, not the Bermuda.
Well, I mean, I guess, it is referred to as a coin purse, so doing a story about a dime. Yeah, I think what ultimately happened was all of those kids over at Kids Incorporated are going through puberty. It's fresh on their minds.
Of course, this couldn't be helped.
Freudian slip. It's the pubic criticism that's going to...
Yes. Pubic criticism.
You know, if this dime design goes through, somebody's going to get grabbed by the short and curlies.
Maybe we need to have people over the age of 25 doing this job.
I think they are.
Really?
Some of them are. Those are the senior members.
It seems like the age, right? Yeah. It seems like we're operating with the ages of, like, say, 15 to 21.
Yeah. I think Lapis and Stremko have just given up. They're like, whatever. Let's let them run with it.
Let them talk about the coinage.
I mean, those are the two senior guys on the news, right? Is Lapis and Stremko?
I believe that Lapis is the dean of Western Mass News right now.
Yeah, it's the hierarchy over there. So you got two princes sitting there, the two meteorologist princes, and they're like, whatever, just go with it.
Yeah,
you know.
That's the news side. We're just here to do the weather.
Brian Lapis is like Willy Wonka to the kids. No, wait, stop, don't go. And they just go with it. Yeah.
It's 7:30. News is next to Rock 102.
For your business.
7:33 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Big Y, your family market. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A bail hearing for 18-year-old James McNary of Saugus was expected to be held in Hampton Superior Court on Monday, but his lawyer withdrew his petition for that hearing. The Hampton DA's office has a firearm, gas mask, night vision goggles, a 3D printer device, a pressure cooker, ball bearings, and additional weapons, including knives, swords, and other handheld weaponry were found inside the campus dorm room.
Now, it's the ball bearings they had the problem with, right?
Well, that's the most dangerous thing.
It's all ball bearings these days.
McNary is charged with using a 3D printer to manufacture a firearm, improper storage of a firearm, manufacturing an untraceable firearm, and possession of a firearm without an FID. The Commonwealth requested bail to be set at $500,000. However, the court set bail at $50,000 with conditions he's due back in court on April 8th.
Worst college spring break ever.
Well, you know, for all the kids that they say don't do anything, at least this kid was working towards something.
You know, when I was in college, all I cared about was getting a keg in my dorm room. That was about it. This guy, I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
In Westfield, concerns continue to grow around the planned reentry facility set to open in April. The facility, which would be housing for former inmates, would be located less than 1,000 feet from two schools in the city. In an email sent out on Monday, Westfield School Superintendent Stefan Saprowski, I believe, not Cesarnowski. I don't think his name changed.
That misspelling would cause pubic outrage.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. We know what the guy's name is. I don't think it's... Am I right about that?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
But still, it wouldn't put it past them to mess up the name.
Let's see. Because I want to get this. Westfield. I know I'm spending time on this.
It's all right, Steve. We've got nothing but time here.
Sazaporowski. That's his name.
Okay.
Yet they're calling him Cesarnowski.
Close.
So if you're getting a detail like that from a man who has been in the news probably over 1,000 times over the last 5 or 6 years, what else are you getting wrong about the rest of the story?
Well, I'm sure the basic details of the story are absolutely correct.
But that is a basic detail.
Well,
there's his name.
There is that.
Anyway, he says the district is working closely with police to ensure pubic safety, regarding this re-entry facility. In the letter, Saprowski states that the Westfield schools are taking precautions such as...
Such as what?
I don't know.
There's nothing to follow up, such as?
Purchase additional cameras. Maintain law enforcement presence. Review, update safety training and protocols, complete enhanced safety drills, and monthly safety meetings with the Westfield Police and the Fire Department. Isn't that what they normally do?
Yeah, seemingly.
In the email, the superintendent also attached a school safety guide full of proactive measures family can use. Parents have been vocal about, since the announcement of the facility, not wanting it so close to the schools. Again, with this Robert Parent, who is a parent of a student, It just kind of proves the point that we have to jump through all these hoops, and then perhaps this facility being here really is the problem. I don't know if we can, right now, we can currently say that we have enough safety or even that the protocols that they put in are enough. This guy's the spokesman for all the parents. He's the parent spokesman. When asked about what he thought about the accommodations, he says they still seem unfair. We shouldn't have to have additional resources. That's for one. Security cameras are great, but they're really only good for after the fact. I have 2 young kids that go to that school. I like the idea of the Alice drills. Who's this Alice?
I don't know, but I hear she's nice.
But I don't want to keep putting them through that. I don't think any parents want their kid to go through lockdown drills. Who knows? These might even be active drills sooner rather than later. And I think it's a troubling thing for all of us. He even says with the added measures, many families don't feel comfortable with the facility that close to school property, saying, I think I speak for a lot of parents when I say I'm not entirely certain many of us are uncomfortable with regardless of the heightened security measures. Does anybody ask, hey, what about these sex offenders that live within 500 feet of that school or within, less proximity to that school?
No.
Why does anybody not say that, saying, why are you okay with this and not okay with something that is not housing sex offenders and rather just putting people back to work after they get out of serving time for their prison sentence?
This is going to sound kind of like a weird response to that question, but if someone is already living at a place, it's very hard to get them to not live at a place. And if you're not aware that there's a sex offender living 300 feet from your domicile, then no problem. If I can't see it, it must not exist. But you're absolutely right. If you were to search the people in your neighborhood.
Who are the people in your neighborhood?
The sex offender is a person in your neighborhood.
They're the people that you meet.
When you're walking down the street.
Or the poster that you see their faces on.
They're the people that you meet on the app you just downloaded from the App Store each day.
There you go. According to the East Hampton police, the area of Glendale Street from Main Street to Wright Street was temporarily closed on Monday afternoon. A garbage disposal truck drove into a telephone pole. A garbage truck or a garbage disposal truck? A garbage disposal truck would indicate that it had a bunch of garbage disposals on it versus a truck that disposes of garbage.
Are you splitting hairs at that point, Steve? I think everyone knows.
Truck.
I don't know of many trucks that have garbage disposals as their number one thing, but I could be wrong.
Officials say northbound traffic on Main Street was being detoured to Park Street via Greenwood Court. Western Mass News reached out to the East Tampon Police and their lieutenant and canine handler, Andrew Boiler. It's Boiler, right? Isn't it like Fran Boiler?
Boyer.
Boyer?
Yeah.
Boyer?
Yeah.
Who tells us it appears that a piece of the truck caught the pole and pulled it down. There were no injuries, but yes, there were live wires down. The intersection was closed for a while as they worked to replace the repair of the lines. And then they say, see, I'm reading it in past tense, but really they haven't updated the story. It says, we will update when the road is back open.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the road is back open since it happened yesterday afternoon.
Hey, by the way, this just came in the Route 10 Tire listener line. Route 5 North in West Springfield from Ashley Avenue to Wayside Avenue. Closed. Lots of cops in the scene. They're telling you to seek alternative routes. I don't know much more detail than that.
All right. Let's hope everything's okay. Any word to what's happening on 91 North in Holyoke and Northampton? I don't know.
I have no idea.
If anybody has information on that, you can text us on the Route 10 Tire listener line at 413-293-1021. Okay? Potholes. It's that time of year. If you're driving near the area of the Holyoke Mall, watch out. Potholes are taking over the parking lot and its perimeter road. Now shoppers are saying it's getting dangerous. A viewer reached out to Western Mass News asking, can you get all the answers on the state of the Holyoke Mall? The roads are full of potholes. Following that viewer question, they stopped by to see the damage for themselves.
To get answers.
Here's what they found. Multiple potholes spread across the roadway heading to the upper level entrance, forcing drivers to slow down and go around the worst spots. Early Monday, they spoke with East Tampon resident Elizabeth Blumgarten, who says the conditions are difficult to navigate.
Blumgarten?
Blumgarten. It's treacherous. It's really treacherous. It's almost like they're doing excavation and you have to weave around it. I don't know if that's what she sounds like.
I have no idea.
Theater of the mind. Western Mass News reached out to the Holyoke Mall for comment on the pothole issue. They say the early and frequent winter weather this season impacted their plans to pave Ring Road. What? Pave Ring Road? Is it called the Ring Road?
Well, maybe there's a Ring Road.
They also said in a statement, we had an increased number of weather events, including an early start to winter weather this season. This, coupled with other circumstances beyond our control, substantially delayed progress on our long-term project to have the Ring Road paved in time for the winter season. No specific repair date was given. Mall officials thanked tenants, customers, and contractors for their patience.
There's a lot of them out there, and some of them are very dangerous.
It's not even just the mall. Again, on Homestead Avenue this morning, I hit one. I thought I was going to have another one of these tire blowouts because it just pops. It's out of nowhere. Why can they not put a damn cone there to show you? I get it. You can't patch it. You don't have the hot pad or whatever the deal is. You can't patch it.
But a cone tells everybody, hey, look out for the cone.
There's something there. I get, things would be good and smoother if we ran things, wouldn't it?
I don't know if I really want to be in charge.
There's traffic everywhere. No one can go anywhere. We should all just stay home.
Well, that's good advice, but I don't think it works that way.
Holyoke to Northampton is one-lane road because they're doing road work. Bridge work in Northampton on I-91 North.
Okay, so you got
pothole filling on I-91 North. Now we're getting two different answers.
All right, so you got that problem in West Springfield. You got the pothole filling going on, and then you got any number of other issues.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe we should just stay home.
A single landscaper cone, somebody pointed out. We're all those heroes. You know what? You want to be a hero. You want me to respect you more when you're blocking traffic in the middle of the spring and summer with your big ass trailer in the middle of Converse Street, plowing some rich guy's front lawn in Longmeadow.
Listen, I know these landscape guys, are very possessive of their cones, but in the off season, Steve, between fall and spring cleanups, that's when they collect the most amount of cones. That's when they replace old cones with new cones. I think there should be an old cone depository that should be donated to local DPWs and highway departments so they can do exactly what you're talking about. If that cone no longer serves your purposes as a landscaper, don't you think it would be better served to maybe trade it in for a new one so that old cones can be put to use?
They're like the Marines with the gun. This is my cone. There are many cones like it, but this one is mine. My cone is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I must master my life. My cone without me is useless. Without my cone, I am useless. I must fire my cone true. I must place straighter than my enemy who is trying to kill me. I must place that cone before he places his. I will. My cone and myself knows what counts in this war is not the other pieces of things we delay traffic with, the noise of our burst, nor the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count, and we will hit by placing a cone in the middle of the street.
We will also do edging and cross-cutting and thatching, depending on what time of year it is.
My cone is human, even as I, because it is my life. See?
Yeah, it's serious business.
I like the cones. Put them out there.
Yeah.
Help a brother out. Put the cone in the potholes when you're driving by. You know you're going to hit it with your trailer, your landscape trailer.
And you know what?
And then your Toro's going to bounce right off the back of that trailer when you hit that pothole. Get the cone out there.
What do cones cost?
Probably a lot more than you think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because they're made of like a high-impact rubber.
I think that's just a scam by the cone-making companies.
Listen,
just a piece of rubber.
In today's economy, with the supplies, tariffs, what have you, I'm sure cones are not coming cheap these days. But you know what? Someone's got to put some cones out there to save your vehicles. I don't want to be I don't want to be fixing my tires every 3 days because I'm not getting in. I'm falling into a pothole that goes to the center of the earth.
Is that is that line from the movie Orange Reflective Jacket? You ever see the guy standing at the DPW? The one guy, the boss yelling at the other 7 guys, "What's your major malfunction? What is that in your DPW hole?"
Eating a jelly donut during road patrol?
It's a jelly donut, sir.
Why? Private Pile, is there a jelly donut in your unlocked footlocker?
Because I was hungry, sir. Oh, because you were hungry. Well, now we're going to make everybody work in the hole, and I'll stand around and watch you guys work. I think we're on to something here.
You opened up that box of donuts, didn't have me the common courtesy to give me a reach around. To get me a donut, too.
How tall are you? 5'11". I didn't know they stacked Long Meadow crap that high. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be sunny with a high of 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 35. It is 36 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. Just about 7:54 and Foreigner with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Sunny with a high of 37. It is 37 right now in downtown Springfield.
Gotta tell you, Bacon and Brews coming up on Sunday, April 19th from noon to 3. A bacon and craft beer bash that you are not going to want to miss. Your admission includes a full spread of bacon-inspired bites brought to you by the Log Cabin Chefs, a cash bar, plus live music from Yellow 9. It's going to be a great time. You can buy your tickets now at rock102.com. You got to be over 21 with a valid ID to get in because, as you know, bacon can't be consumed by anyone under the age of 21. Brought to you by Curry Honda Chicopee, Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
There you go. Coming up after 8, I'll talk about my age, where I see myself in retirement.
Okay.
What are we doing? Because it's starting to happen, and I'll give you more details on why it's starting to happen.
All right, Steve. It is probably about time you start doing some planning.
Well, it starts hitting you.
Yes, it does, and it hits you hard. Wait till you advance a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I can't.
It'd smack you upside the head. You won't even know what hit you.
People sue over the stupidest things. This guy, a New York City taqueria, is no longer in hot water after a judge ruled against a German tourist who sued the restaurant for selling salsa that he alleged was dangerously spicy. Fake-How Mons sued Los Tacos #1 for $100,000 in damages after he allegedly experienced gastrointestinal problems, high blood pressure, and emotional distress from eating spicy salsas at the New York City restaurant in 2024. Mans, a sales engineer from Germany visiting New York City at the time, alleged that the restaurant failed to warn customers about the spiciness of the salsas. After eating them, he also said he had tongue blisters. Well, how many did you eat before you realized, hey, this might be a little too hot for my taste?
Yeah, you usually don't get the tongue blisters after like one chip.
However, U.S. Judge Dale Ho, Don Ho's brother?
I don't know if they're related.
You know, side note, my dad used to be married to, my dad's friend used to be married to Don Ho's sister.
Really?
And the guy would be like, yeah, when we go visit, we stay at the Ho house. That was like his big joke. Anyway, USA Today reached out to Mons and Las Tacos for comment, but did not immediately get a response. In the complaint, Mons said he wanted to eat tacos on vacation in New York because New York is known for its tacos. You know, it's not like you're going to Mexico.
Well, I mean, it's the greatest restaurant town in the world.
True,
but still.
But, you know, I mean, I would eat pizza or hot dogs or something.
I mean, I wouldn't think of like New York as the top place to go for tacos, but usually when you get the salsa, they tell you this is the hot stuff, this is the not so hot stuff.
He wanted to do this because there's no possibility for me to eat tacos in my small German hometown. After finding the restaurant online, he went to Los Tacos #1 and purchased 3 tacos. He then added 2 types of salsas from the self-service area to his tacos. Upon eating the food topped with salsa, Mons said his tongue and mouth began burning immediately. and his Apple Watch registered an elevated pulse. For someone like me living in Germany and eating nothing spicy, it was a very big shock physically and mentally. Yeah, Germans aren't really known for their spicy foods. More of a salty,
they're
briny,
well-seasoned
briny,
food. Yes.
What do they call that? Fermented foods.
Yes.
Ho sided with Los Tacos #1 in part because Mans failed to provide the restaurant acted negligently. Additionally, he did not provide any evidence of other customers being injured by the salsa, according to the judge's opinion. The judge also wrote that the restaurant is not responsible for injuries stemming from a consumer's idiosyncratic characteristic of the salsa. Mexican food, and more specifically salsa, is often spicy. In fact, when it comes to salsa, the spice is the point. You imagine you try to sue somebody because you're like, I'm going to get rich of my bad experience of getting second-degree burns on my tongue. And then the judge is like, yeah, that's the point of salsa.
Yeah, well, I mean, can you imagine this guy in court answering questions from, from the lawyer for the restaurant?
Yeah.
How much salsa do you eat? Smack! I should be the one answering the questions.
I will answer who is eating me the salsa.
Why did you serve such hot salsa?
Where's the receipt? Go ahead, show me the papers.
It's 7:59 to Rock 102.
This spring.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware with Scott's 4-Step. 4 easy steps to an awesome lawn.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Colleges in this country are loaded with very stupid people. In fact, some of the dumbest people I know, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging idiots, all have one thing in common, a college degree. And if they don't have one yet, they're very close to graduation. How do I know this? Because the same college education that I received in the 1980s is now worth $70,000 a year, and only an idiot would pay for something like that. On the other hand, some of the smartest people on campus happen to be student athletes. Thanks to their God-given physical talents, a young man or woman can get a free college education and get paid to go there simply by accepting fully legalized NIL payments. But even among those student athletes, there are people who are dumber than the ones who are paying full price. Case in point, I present to you Aiden Holloway, junior guard from the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yesterday it was announced that it is unlikely that Aiden Holloway will be able to play in this week's opening round of the NCAA tournament after being removed from campus after police discovered more than a pound of marijuana in his student apartment. Holloway posted $5,000 bond and is facing a couple of felonies, including first-degree drug possession and failure to affix a tax stamp. And in the state of Alabama, both charges could lead to a $15,000 fine and more than 10 years in prison. Now, let's look at why this young man is so stupid. One, he was busted 2 days before Selection Sunday and will miss Alabama's first-round matchup against Hofstra. Secondly, the Crimson Tide basketball program currently sits on $2.9 million worth of available NIL money. On a 12-player roster, that means that Aiden Holloway could make as much as $241,666 to do nothing more than play basketball. And yet, at 20 years old, $241,666 wasn't enough. Hence the desire to obtain more than a pound of marijuana. Now, I can understand the idea of wanting to have a little bit of extra cash on the side, but you know who doesn't enjoy that kind of money? Convicted felons sitting in prison. Son, you got a whole lifetime to get involved in the illegal drug business, but to do it 4 days before the opening round of the NCAA tournament, that's just plain stupid. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, July will be too late to rescue your lawn. You got to go to Rocky's now for Scott's 4-Step. 4 simple steps to a healthy lawn all summer long. It's almost time for step 1. So go to Rocky soon. Get Scott's 4-Step for $95 with your Ace Rewards card. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:13 and ZZ Top with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny with a high of 37 today. It's 36 right now in downtown Springfield. So, the joint pains, things like that make you feel old enough as it is. But I had this vision last night that if I'm going to retire one of these days, eventually into the future, I feel like I should get an HP desktop computer and an AOL account and go on a Facebook community forum and go, what are all those loud bangs going on outside?
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of years to get to that point. I mean, there are some people that begin that process very early in life. You're 47. You're 47.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at the point now where you're starting to see how aggravating the world is around you.
Well, it's not even that. Last night, and this happened the other night too, Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
I heard these. It sounds like gunshots, like going off behind my house.
Okay,
but they're not like in succession. They're like sporadic. It's like. And then, 20 minutes later, another one. And then another one. And then I was like, whatever. Maybe somebody, we live out in the middle of nowhere. There's always some, probably some redneck out there shooting off his...
In the hill towns?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. I've never heard of such a thing.
Probably shooting off his shotgun or whatever's going on out there.
Right.
It doesn't... But then again, I heard it last night twice. So I texted my neighbor. I was like, is it just me, or am I the only one hearing loud bangs? And then she's like, no, we have the TV on. We didn't hear anything.
Right.
That kind of thing. But it's like, it was driving me nuts. And a part of me really wanted to go on the Hilltown Community Forum and go, did anybody else hear those loud bangs in the area of Basket Street in Huntington?
Did you, but you didn't?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
But it took everything in me to not do that because I didn't want to be that guy that complains about loud noises.
But, if you're living in the hill towns and you hear something that may or may not be a gunshot.
Yeah.
And you have, some questions. Where's this coming from? How close is it to my house? Should I keep the dog inside? These are valid questions that I think you would have been entitled to ask.
Oh, I'm sure. But
what I find interesting is like when you see someone in a community forum give no context as to where they are and the noise they're hearing.
Yeah.
Did anyone just hear that? Leave comments below. And no one knows.
Hear what?
Well, that's exactly it. You're in your head thinking, well, everyone's going to understand what I'm talking about, but then you've offered no context as to what your complaint is.
Yeah, see, that's why I didn't bother going on there. Yeah, because then you'd have to explain, what do you mean loud bangs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounded like a gunshot. It also could have sounded like a cannon, like somebody was reenacting. And that's more likely up in the hill towns. Somebody's reenacting like a Civil War thing.
Are there a lot of people up in Huntington with active cannons in their yard?
I don't know if they have active cannons, but I've seen up in Blandford, they gather at that cemetery all the time, all dressed in their garb, and they give tours, and they talk like they're from the 1860s, and they talking about General Knox and all those other people, and all the people that have gone through the area.
Mm-hmm.
They have those reenactments. Which, God, I hope I never get to that point either.
I know people I once respected.
Yeah.
People that were like pillars of the community that I grew up in who are very much into that reenactment thing.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't think anything discredits you as an individual intellectually more than a guy who's going to be like a revolutionary or Civil War reenactor.
It's not even real guns. It's fake. It's all fake. And they pretend they're stabbing each other with a bayonet, and they pretend they're shooting each other. And it's I guess if you have nothing better to do.
I told you I had a friend of mine who was really into Renaissance fairs and wanted me to, and he wound up working at like the at a Renaissance fair. in the eastern part of the state. I think the King Richard's Fair. I think it's in Carver. And he wanted so badly for me to join him in this. And every time he asked, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Because you see, I have a limit on how much of a nerd I'm going to be in my lifetime.
It's a popular thing. It's more popular than you think.
It's popular to go.
Thousands of people that go to that thing. There's one down in Connecticut, too, that they do every year.
It's one thing to go.
Yeah.
It's one thing to participate. Like, if I go, I'm not going to be one of these guys that dresses up like I belong there.
But that's part of the fun, Bax.
No, actually, part of the fun is making fun of those people that dressed up as if they belong there. To me, that's the greatest amount of fun. Not the people who are employed to be there or signed up to be part of the show, but the people that got out of their minivans dressed up in robes
with their Graco strollers
and their broadsword, hoping to get involved in a little Renaissance action.
Well, they're all dressed up like princesses and knights and things like that, and they're walking around. They're eating big turkey legs, eating them like the Neanderthals used to do.
I don't even own a codpiece. Yeah. And I will never own a codpiece. If someone said, "Hey, Bax, they got a great deal on codpieces down at the mall," guess where I'm not going?
Yeah.
To Cod Pieces or Us.
You try to reenact that whole thing, and you're in the actual Renaissance, and then like you're walking around with that baby stroller. What brand of baby stroller doth the lady have? Why, this is a Graco. I got it at Once Upon a Child at the East Castle.
When you got,
I didn't know they had a Once Upon a Child at the East Castle. Oh yes, it just opened.
Pardon me, my good chap. Doth thou have problems downloading the latest iOS operating system on one's cell phone?
The lady protests too much.
I couldn't do it. I mean, as much as he was begging, I just could not participate. And I had a teacher, my third grade teacher. God bless him. Yeah. Still around. He's a little long in the tooth at this point.
Yeah.
But he does all that reenacting, all that Revolutionary War stuff.
We know several employees here that go do that stuff on a weekend.
I know, man.
They love it. They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And that's like, all right, okay, all right.
There must be other hobbies that people can, grab onto. Like, golf. That's a good hobby. No one looks at like a golfer and said, what a weirdo this guy is. I mean, you're a golfer. I mean, you have your little things, but if you're walking around with tights and a codpiece and a shield and broadsword, guess what? Everyone's talking about you behind your back.
And then saying things like, "Dear fair lady, my cell phone is down to 1 bar. Do you know where I could find the closest AT&T or T-Mobile store, perhaps, to get a new charger?
My wench and I are trying to find a tow truck from AAA.
Yes, are there any interstate towing offices in the area? My carriage broke down and I need a new wheel.
Good day, my sir fellow. My wench and I are trying to establish reservations at your restaurant tonight for 7:30.
Somebody says,
Huzzah!
Somebody says, I'm thinking those Renaissance Fair are exercises in total debauchery, which they probably are. Sure knows
theoretically, but I don't know how much real debauchery is going on.
Sure knows a lot about the codpiece store's name and location for someone who doesn't frequent the codpiece stores.
Listen, I'm not saying that because I know more about codpieces than the average dude. I'm just not going for the codpiece.
Going back to some guy said he heard the gunshots and go off. He lives on 112, not too far from me. Mm-hmm. So somebody else heard it. It wasn't just me.
All right.
One of you keeps saying a high of 37. The other one says a high of 44. Well, we're not weathermen.
I'm going with the Weather Channel here. That's what I got.
I'm going with Google. Listen,
it's different sources.
Listen, do you look to me as I'm some sort of meteorologist?
You're about as far from a Stremko or a Lapis or a Dan Brown as anybody else.
Yes. Do you think the people of the Renaissance Fair care what the meteorologist had to say about the weather?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think the Renaissance people have any idea what weather really is.
It's as humid as it is in the Chastity Belt area. There's a little chafing on my King Philip.
It's 8:24 on Rock 102. It's 8:27 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be sunny with a high of 37. It's 36 in downtown Springfield, and if you're talking to Bax, it's 44 for a high.
Well, whatever. I mean, I'm saying it's 36 today, and well, whatever, what have you.
Well, this guy says, to be fair, I trust you guys a lot more than the weather people, but on the other side of the same coin, if you guys get the weather wrong, I blame the weather people. See?
Okay.
So it's always off of us. Never our fault.
Hey, you know what? I should have probably done this a second ago, but the Western Mass Home and Garden Show is coming to the Eastern States Exposition, March 26th to the 29th. We happen to have a 4-pack of tickets. If you text the word home to 413-293-1021, you can do it in the next 30 minutes. You may be chosen at random to go to the Western Mass Home and Garden Show.
Before 9 a.m.
Before 9 a.m., text the word home, 413-293-1021. Good luck to you.
Not homeowner.
Homeowners is what?
What?
I can't believe you got me.
Well, hey. No, just the word home.
Home.
To 413-293-1021. Good luck.
We got news next to Rock 831 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thank you. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Paxy. The local Irish bars are preparing to be packed today.
I didn't have the thing ready. I'm so
that's
sorry.
All right.
It's okay.
You're late to the party.
Yeah, okay. Now here we go.
There you go.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going over the fairy mountains. I met Captain Barrow when the money he was counting. Introduced my pistol and introduced my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver." Whack ball the daddy-o, whack ball the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Getting a drink out of any number of the Irish pubs that are open this morning. Just opened about a half hour now since alcohol was legally be able to served in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I'm finally starting to tickle the liver.
Yeah. He deceived me. Rock ball the daddy-o, rock ball the daddy-o, there's whiskey through my nose.
What a great day this is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I got other plans.
There was one year when we broadcasted from that bar in Agawam.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine.
Very Irish bar.
It wasn't particularly Irish, but
more on the German side. But go ahead.
Wherever, it was a great place to start off the St. Patrick's Day celebration. Well, anyway, a buddy of mine showed up, and he decided to have me stick around after the show. Now, the show ends at 10. I didn't leave until 2. I'm sure you can imagine the kind of condition I may have been in from 10 to 2 after a long broadcast day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a long day.
It was sloppy, and I don't think I've partaken in the St. Patrick's Day celebration in the same way ever since the recovery from St. Patrick's Day was brutal, if I may recall.
You never had a sloppy shillelagh, Baxy?
Oh, my shillelagh's gotten very sloppy over the years, especially that year.
You got a little green down there on the green patch.
It's all over the front of my shirt.
Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. What does musha-ring-dum-a-doo-dum-a-da mean?
I don't know. I believe he ran for office once.
Do we have the Wild Rover in there? I like that one.
You like
better.
that one?
Yeah.
Let me see if I got that.
It's no, nay, never.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in there anymore.
There we go.
I've been a wild rover for many a year.
And I spent
I've had whiskey and beer.
I don't care about my shoes if they're in the toilet as well.
Cause it's no, nay, never. I ain't never no more. Well, I played a wild rover. No, nay, never. No, That's what it sounds like to me.
You know, I didn't know this, but many of these songs were written in English.
Hang on. No, nay, never. Right on your hair. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, nay, never, no more.
I pull up from me pockets
Ha! Look at all the Lucky Charms and the puke on the streets of Holyoke.
Oh, my vomit is magically delicious.
Oh, look at that. There's green clovers.
Yellow moons.
Stars. And I think a hot dog from Nick's Nest is in there, too. Oh, it's fried in butter. No more.
Oh, man, that makes me Shermer horny.
Oh,
It sure does.
It's the little hair of the Irish dog that bit you.
Yeah, you know what? That Irish dog is vicious.
Well, anyway, it is St. Patrick's Day. There is, for many, St. Patrick's Day is not just a celebration, but a family reunion, as people from all over come to Western Massachusetts to celebrate the area's Irish heritage.
And what says family reunion more than passing around a bottle of Jameson, choking down a super dry slice of soda bread, and then waiting for Mom to finish the corned beef?
You know, as I was a lad in the old country, I said, I was chased out of Ireland. I was chased out of there a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was one of the snakes that St. Patrick pulled out. And I said, I will vow never to come back to this land again, but I will go to another Irish location, Western Massachusetts. And we'll settle along the Connecticut River.
Ah, the Ireland of the West.
And one day, my dream is to have an Italian restaurant like Calabrese Market have the best corned beef and cabbage according to Yelp. Oh, who doesn't like a little fangulo with their corned beef and cabbage at the Calabrese Market?
Oh, it's the holiest of Hollyoaks.
Ah!
But now I am returning.
Who doesn't like a good corned beef and cabbage with a good marinara?
Never will play the wild rover no more. Sure, it's
Ah, yes.
Who wants some marinara all over their corned beef and Guinness stew?
Ah, who would like some corned beef and meatballs?
How about stuffed manicotti corned beef? Can we do that too?
Hey, you know, on a day like today, Steve, everybody is Irish, even those that aren't Irish even in the slightest.
I'm gonna go get me one of them corned beef and cabbage pierogies from Janix.
She answered me nay.
Are the Portuguese restaurants doing Irish food today?
I would like to think that, the Portuguese club is having an Irish dinner.
Yeah, well, okay,
Yeah.
so then you have like your corned beef,
Yeah.
you got your potatoes that were boiled in the corned beef,
Yeah.
and then you got rice on top of that and French fries.
And espresso and whatever that cognac stuff is they all get drunk on.
Yeah,
Makes
we're all-
you wide awake drunk at the
Yeah,
end of
we're
the
all
night.
going to have shots of Jameson and Matus and see where the night takes us.
I love celebrating all kinds of cultures here in Western Massachusetts. Oh, hey, they never no more. When I play the wild rover.
Hey, kiss me, I'm Irish.
Kiss me, I've got a disease that you can't get rid of and you need to go get some penicillin from the doctor for it. It's all over the Blarney Stone.
I'd like to introduce your potatoes to my famine.
Yeah, oh, I love the sound of that, sweetie. Did you ever have crotch crickets on your shamrock? 'Cause I
certainly
sure
have.
do.
This year I named myself Donna O'Rea.
Did you ever have corned beef and slabbage? Because that's what I'm cooking up underneath here.
Ooh. Why don't you show me your coal cannon? And I'll show you my bangers.
Oh, bangers and mash. I love bangers and mash. I think that's a little English, though.
Probably.
Yeah. Nay, never. Right up, York. Oh, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, nay, never, no more. my goal is to not do one bit of news throughout this entire
Who
newscast.
cares?
No
They
name,
never no more. Well, I hate a wild rover.
no name, never.
No more. Yeah.
Only 12 more steps.
Happy National Women's Month. You know, the Irish always celebrate their women.
They sure
And
do.
it happens to be in the same month as St. Patrick's Day. What a coinky dink. At Nathan Bill's in Springfield, the preparations are bigger than ever. New bands, a larger stage, and a tent that covers the crowd. Didn't they have this last year?
I believe they have had it last year and every day since.
I was there last year doing a promotion with Bud Light. And
the official beer.
the
of
official
Ireland.
beer of the Irish.
Yes, the Bud Light. Oh, the green Bud Light.
What are you talking about? They had Killian's Irish Red back in the 90s for a short time. For owner John Sullivan, what does that guy know about being Irish?
Nothing.
This isn't just a busy work week. He says, St. Patrick's Week is like the big game for us. It's about community coming together, family and tradition. Doesn't he sound like that?
I know John Sullivan. John Sullivan doesn't talk like that. Either does Joe Sullivan. No relation.
I'm pretty sure that's what they sound like. They sound like little leprechauns over there. Little Sullivan leprechauns. No relation, but they come from the same pack of leprechauns over in Ireland. The bar has been set high, but Sully, as his friends like to call him, promises this year's celebration will top last year's event.
Oh, you know Sully?
Oh, I know a Sully.
I know Sully, too. He's the son of Sully.
What are the chances of two Irish guys named Sully or Fitzy or...
Have you met his cousin Sully?
I've met his cousin Sully and all the Sullys. He says, we got a bigger tent from the team. We got a bigger stage. We have new sound and lights in, new bands, and the mummers are coming.
Oh, the mummers.
Did you ever get a mummer in the back of a Mingles on a St. Patrick's Day?
Honey, I'll be here all day waiting for mummers.
I've had a mummers on a double-decker bus once.
I'm the mummers of hummers.
I gave a mummer on a double-decker Peter Pan bus. He's so fly, he never landed.
I was once on the carousel in Holyoke. They told me to get off. I thought that was misleading.
I once struck a pot of gold in a pothole outside of the Holyoke Mall. I tried to get upstairs to the bar, but I couldn't because the escalator was broken.
I had to crawl up the stairs on my back.
Sully continued, we're just hands-on, all staff every single day, eager to serve everybody. From the parade route to the pub, it's a celebration of heritage.
It's a celebration.
A celebration! A very good celebration! A promise to protect the next generation of alcoholics.
And create a few along the way.
If you're looking to visit Nathan Bill's on Tuesday, you're reminded to get there early as they expect the large crowds. No, nay, never. Right up your tooth. Never, no more. What is he saying in that?
I don't know. It's something about being Irish, drinking a lot.
Yeah, but he says right up your something. I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't pretend to know.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast, depending on where you're getting it from. If you're getting from Bax side of the island on the north side, it's going to be 44 for a high. If you're getting from Nagle's side on the south side, it's 36 for a high.
Either way, we'll be doubling over.
Hey, never. Get off my land, you Protestant bastard!
Let's throw rocks and bottles at everybody.
That's the Irish car bomb. So early in the morning, Baxy, you gotta save your liver for later in the day.
It'll never last.
And that's the news on Rock 102. Arr.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:52 and Collective Soul with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
We got a serious traffic alert here. The Mass Department of Transportation is announcing a temporary closure of I-91 northbound for emergency repairs. The closure is currently in effect at the Northampton and East Hampton town line. So from that East Hampton exit, Holyoke East Hampton exit to Northampton, people on the Route 10 Tire listener line saying it's completely closed. They're also saying it's one lane, but I don't know. Don't go that way.
Emergency repairs. I wonder what that means.
It says maintenance crews are performing emergency deck repairs on the bridge over the Oxbow. The work requires a temporary restriction of traffic flow to allow teams to safely access the bridge deck. It's probably one of them joists again that came loose, and like they did a couple of like a month ago. There was the joint. The joint was bad, and they had to grind the joint down. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know why they're getting high. I mean, they're you think they get drug tested on that DOT?
I think it's a different kind of joint.
Oh, different.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're showing the traffic camera of all the cars stopped in between there. So I-91 North between the East Hampton Holyoke exit to Northampton is either closed or stopped or whatever. That's going to cause some problems.
All right. Well,
how are people supposed to get to the bars?
There's other bars to go to. You don't have to go to that one bar.
Yeah, but if you're stuck in the middle of traffic, what if you're stuck in the middle of traffic right now on that I-91?
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience, about how you were going to get to the bar by 8 o'clock this morning, and now you're not because you've been sitting in traffic for 53 minutes.
All right, but let's say they're able to let a couple cars go through. Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll get to the bar by 9:30, 10 o'clock. You can still get a lot of damage done.
Yeah.
Even if it takes another hour and a half to get there.
Am I drunk, or are there two shows going on right now? I think he's drunk.
Yeah, you're drunk. There's only one show that I'm aware of.
Somebody says it's down to one lane. So is it closed or is it down to one lane? Why can't anybody give us right information?
Well, if you're not moving, then you're probably going to assume
it's closed.
It's closed. But if you're squeezing by all the important stuff, then
I suppose
maybe not everybody is at that point where they realize that even traffic is moving at a snail's pace.
Here's something I was just alerted to, and I wish I had known about this sooner. But there's a place in Ellington called the Di Fior Ravioli Shop. Okay.
Ravioli Shop. Okay.
Yeah, and they are sold out of this particular product. But you know what? A place called the Ravioli Shop sounds like a place I want to go to no matter what they have serving there. Italian-Irish was the most prevalent mixed ethnicity marriage in Connecticut for many years, but everyone can enjoy these. Our corned beef and cabbage are our best-selling specialty ravioli year after year. Paired with either Guinness Stout or a Dijon cream sauce, they are really good. On sale now while supplies last, but they are completely sold out of them right now.
I would mess that up.
Doesn't that look good?
That looks really good.
I would totally get a stuffed did you ever have your ravioli stuffed with a corned beef?
No, Steve, I've never partaken in the Irish ravioli.
I once dated a gal who it rhymed with beef, but it smelled like cabbage. She was a tootin' little gal.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
But who wouldn't want a ravioli stuffed with your corned beef and cabbage? This is what I'm talking about with the Italians. The Italians apparently are jumping on it like, we need to jump on this Irish thing. They're taking away from our traditions. We need to combine these two foods.
I used to enjoy Reuben egg rolls.
I love them,
and they're delicious.
They have them. They have them at Patty's, and they have them at Nathan Bill's as well.
Fantastic.
Nothing like a good corned beef egg roll, a Reuben egg roll.
I've made them.
Yeah, and you dip it in the Russian dressing.
Oh,
you get the cheese, the sauerkraut, and the mix inside.
To me, it's usually like a Thousand Island dressing. I'll drop it in.
Isn't it Russian or Russian?
I think it's a Thousand Island.
Thousand Island. Yeah.
So good, though. So good. Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Well, what are you going to do?
Good to know that McDiFiore's Ravioli Shop in Ellington is participating in the day.
Whack on the daddy-o! Whack on the daddy-o! This corned beef and raviolis.
All right, it's 8:57.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee never came. Can you imagine if that would be the grossest thing ever? if Chef Boyardee started selling corned beef and cabbage raviolis in a can only because of its Chef Boyardee. I'll trust it from this D Fior place.
If they're made by hand, that's one thing. If it's made in a machine and then put in a can, no thank you.
Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee. Arr.
It's 8:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.